It's a professional show.
There we go. Now I did not unmute myself. Hey, everybody. It's going to sound weird for a moment. So don't freak out. Everybody's going to put something, like the first 5 seconds, everyone's putting in, hey,
I can't hear Michael.
I can't hear Michael. But Michael's
here.
here.
Brooks here.
I'm going to turn my down. I am done, though. I don't know why I'm so loud. I'm
On
way into
time
the
and
red.
everything. Like, what's up with that craziness?
Let's pull that down a little bit more. There we go. I might be a little bit distorted also. Oh my gosh, that's really hot. I don't know why. All right.
It's just because you're hot and
I'm
know.
hot. Hot. Well, I like it. Well, I like it. Hot. Well, okay, so.
Now we're getting sued, Michael. Thanks.
That's right.
No, it's only in trouble if they recognize what it was.
Yes. Hey.
The algorithm recognizes it.
So guess what I watched tonight?
TV.
Just in time for my birthday, Marvels came out on Disney Plus.
Oh, very nice.
That was fun. What a
fun, isn't it?
Fun little movie. I loved it.
I tell you what, go.
I love Kamala Khan. I loved her in the comics, and I thought that the way they treated her in the TV series was so wonderful, and the actress they got to play it was so genuine. So just wonderful, and
it feels every scene she's in. It's fantastic.
So I just really enjoyed it. It was a fun little movie. No, that was really enjoyable. So if you guys get a chance, go check out Marvels. It's fun. Well, we got Curtis is in right now.
Uh-oh.
Everybody watch out. Curtis.
Woo!
Selby! So, anything else going on in your guys' lives? What's going on? Brooke?
I'm a teacher in Oklahoma, and I'll just leave it at that. And when
God
we had
bless
a
you.
previous state superintendent whose name, it was a dentist. That was her background, was she was a dentist, and then somehow she became the state superintendent. And I thought, man, well, at least finally, whenever she lost in the primaries, we'll never have to worry about somebody like that again.
I know. Surely it couldn't be any worse than her. Yeah, I know.
Worse. Couldn't be worse. Anyway, challenges.
But let me tell you, it's going to be the same thing. You're only getting him for 4 more years, or 4 years, because he's going to run for governor, and he can't run for both seats.
Oh God, it's so.
Welcome to Plausible Deniability, the politics show for Oakland.
Michael asked, "What's everyone been up to?"
Yeah,
panicking with existential dread, Michael. That's what we've been doing.
You know what? I've been watching it my entire life. I've been covering it since I was, in my 30s.
I was
so
getting paid to do it. It'd be okay.
No, it's actually much worse. But you do also kind of go, meh. Anyway, Johnny, new hair.
New hair, who dis?
Looking good, dude. Looking good.
So, fun story, Brooke. You might want to write this down. I have to go get a new barber, okay? Because mine just pooped. He just wasn't on the website anymore to schedule. So we go to this new guy over in the Paseo. We get up there. He does the thing. I train him how to do my hair. And then he says, "Are you going home? Or do you want me to put some product in it?" And I was like, "Yeah, throw something in it. I usually use this paste from this Kevin Moore thing, whatever."
Yeah.
He goes, "Have you ever used powder?"
Powder?
What? And I said, "Do I look like a judge?"
I do.
Powder wigs.
Am I some 17th century fop? I don't know.
He goes, "I think it'll work out really well with your hair. Let's give it a shot." So he gets this little, it looks like a black little pepper shaker, takes the lid off of it, puts it over my head, and just taps it in this light little, like, just not a lot. And he goes, "Okay, quick, style it." And I just style it by, I'll run a brush through it once, and then I just like pow, 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 pow.
Yeah.
I sculpt and mold it.
Yeah.
It was in the rain. It was raining that day. It survived. I mean, it rocked and rolled all day. I came home and laid down on the couch and took a nap, got up and did this, went back out. It was fine. So I bought some on Amazon for like $10. It's working
powder.
Great. So Trey, Brooke,
so looking at your hair is kind of like seeing Brad Pitt's abs in Troy. Like I'm but there's something. I'm like, dang, that's freaking hot.
I was gonna say it does. It looks good. It looks good.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. Amanda found a place after my guy disappeared. She's like, "I got you covered. I made you a place at it was the NX. I'm sure we've all heard of the NX.
Okay,
in
cool.
OKC. They're a pretty cool place.
In the Paseo?
And the guy, he's new to Oklahoma. He's only been in Oklahoma for a year. He's from Indianapolis, and we talked, had a great time, and yeah, quick and easy haircut. He put powder in it, and powder's the thing now. So
That is awesome. That is awesome.
think
Powder's the thing. It's 200 years. It's made a comeback.
I mean, it was cool 500 years ago.
That's right.
Cool now.
You put that cone on your face and they powder it all up. Yeah.
I just thought to myself, what would Shakespeare do?
That's right.
I YOLO'd. I YOLO'd in Shakespearean fashion.
I think Jane Austen, anything Jane Austen's people did, and if it worked for Jane Austen, the Reformation, yeah.
And depending
Jane
on
Austen,
the powder,
Jane Eyre, depends how much gumption you want.
There you go. And depending on the powder, you don't have to wear the flea and tick collar anymore. This has got a lot of benefits. I'm really.
It is.
You don't have to, but you can.
That's making a comeback too. According to what was it, the Hunger Games? That's gonna be all the rage. Kiri Hester's in our group.
What?
I know.
Hey,
America's favorite halfling.
It is. Kiri's here. Andrew's here. I'm excited. This is really good. Have we got? Oh, we don't have Ruffles yet. Should we wait until we get Ruffles before we do the?
No. He
Okay.
cleaned house last time. Like he came in and cleaned house.
That was Andrew.
Oh, that was Andrew. You're right. Sorry, that was Andrew. Throw that note out of the way there.
Well, I picked from the hard deck, so the questions might be a little bit more difficult tonight. It's so Thoth. All right, Curtis, are you trying to invoke Egyptian deities over there?
Egyptian deity of exactly. Self-created, just speak the word, but kind of like Beetlejuice.
Don't say Thoth 3 times.
Oh, I didn't say. I meant to say truth, and I said thuth.
Oh, okay. I didn't see up above.
Let's do this. Let's just go with this. Boom. Facts.
Just the facts, ma'am. Bum
Just
ba-dum bum.
Bum.
Bum ba-dum bum.
See if Curtis gets that dog whistle there.
And you know what else I just realized, Johnny?
What's that?
This haircut that you're sporting now is the haircut on the poster
Legit.
for Bruncheons and Dragons. Like
the haircut.
Yes,
you're
is.
legit the man now.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Bruncheons and Dragons in just a moment. But let's get through trivia real quick because that way we can do this. Yes. So, we're going to start out. Magic and Miscellany. You all ready? Ready? All right, here we go. Which spell named...
We just lost Kiri. Kiri said, fair warning, if you're boring, I'm leaving. Old school D&D trivia just started. Kiri's out.
You're boring, I'm leaving.
Come on,
Sorry,
she's
Michael.
got the internet too. There's a chance.
Kiri out. Oh, especially because it keeps on getting worse. Which spell named after a Greyhawk wizard... Yeah, we've definitely lost Kiri.
She might know this one. She's done prep work.
That's true. Which spell named after a Greyhawk wizard establishes real-time mental communication between multiple willing creatures? Which spell named after a Greyhawk wizard establishes real-time mental communication between multiple willing creatures?
Hey,
Actually, a really good spell, by the way. It's like a higher level spell, but it's a really good one. I think it's for like clerics can use it, and it's
Twitch has a lesser version of it.
Oh,
We can all communicate.
You do, yep.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
that's right.
Big
Does
Beast,
it have
Tiny
the-
Mutt.
Big Beast, Tiny Mutt.
Does it have the verbal component of "Hey y'all, don't freak out"?
So
No.
Curtis said wish. Technically, he's right?
Well, that's true. That is true. But it's not named after a Greyhawk wizard.
Oh, that's true.
It's just a wish. It just allows you to
Acid
speak.
arrow. So close, Kiri.
Mel's acid arrow. Yeah. Hey,
So close.
Kiri got it. Look at that. Old school still used a Greyhawk name.
Yeah, I'm proud
That's
of.
Melf. That's really good, Kiri. Very good. I don't know. I don't know if anyone's going to be able to get this.
Time's up.
There we
Tony
go.
wants to give his answer.
Andrew? Nothing, Andrew? Well, we'll give him time to Google it. There we go. We're going to count down. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did we just get a heart? That was really cool. Okay. The answer is Rary's telepathic bond. Rary's telepathic bond. And by the way, telepathic bond is a very, very, very good spell. Because, yeah, just being able to be in a group and you can all go your own way and still be telepathically connected, really good. All right. History. Who was the first artist to be hired full-time to work on the D&D game? Who was the first artist to be hired full-time to work on the D&D game? Old school guys, you might know this one.
I'm going to know it when you say it because I just got finished reading Slaying the Dragon by Ben Riggs, and I could... Oh, I might be able to enunciate it. I'm not sure, but...
If Curtis says wish again, is that technically...
Mordenkainen would have been a good guess.
Yep.
Vecna.
Vecna
I
wants
won't
you.
deny that it was Vecna. Right. But it wasn't Vecna.
No.
Although we don't know, the other hand might have been artistic.
Oh, bless you.
Ah, that was loud.
Greg Bell.
What? No. Curie's making a guess, though. That's a good guess,
nice.
Curie.
Yes.
Look at you coming in. Look at this. Remember that little girl that knew so little about D&D back 4 years ago?
Are we sure this is Curie Hester at the keyboard, not just someone hacking her name?
Someone's hacked her name.
Remember, people in the chat, if we tease you, it's because we love you.
We do.
When we ignore you, then you're like, oh, what's wrong?
And I gotta say, real quickly, tomorrow I get to set up for this weekend's recording of Red Dirt. There's very little that makes me more excited. I mean, obviously the most exciting is actually Sunday when we record. But setting up just makes me so happy. So, yeah. I'm guessing no one's going to get this one. So the answer is in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Do you know what it is? Brooke, do you know?
Is it the cartographer lady? No.
This is a guy, and his first name is Dave. It's not Arneson.
Okay, but it starts with a B.
No.
Last name starts with a B.
Nope.
Jones.
It's Dave Sutherland.
Dave
Sutherland.
Yeah.
I know it's Sutherland.
Yeah. Kiefer. That is Johnny with powder. All right. Monsters. What knight of the British Empire created, among other things, the Bloodhawk, the Grell, and the Hook Horror? What knight of the British Empire created, among other things, the Bloodhawk, the Grell, and the Hook Horror?
Which I bet I'm seeing Dave Sutherland's art in my head right now.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So.
Hook
Horror. Grell.
I don't know. Like I said, this one was a hard one, so it would be not surprising if you guys. This one was actually chosen.
You pulled this card out of the back of the box, didn't you?
Well, I've got them all divided up into easy, medium, and hard. So, yeah, this one was a hard card. So I mean, it was
pointing at you.
Yeah. So, but come on, let's see if anyone can get it. Whew.
Oh, maybe. No, maybe not. Maybe. I think I have a guess.
I agree, Curtis. I agree. I have never seen Johnny Payne and Kiefer Sutherland together at the same time either. Makes me wonder.
Yet the president is safe in both the fictional world and the real world.
That's right. And that's right.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. What can I say except you're welcome?
What can I say except they're only noodles, Michael?
Only noodles. Gosh, I gotta watch that again. We've been watching a bunch of 80s movies. We've been watching a ton of movies. We watched 16 Candles just the other day. And Better Off Dead. We got this one from the library. I hadn't seen Better Off Dead since the 80s. That's still so choice. It is so good. John Cusack is just wonderful. Carrie Hester!
What? Booyah!
Oh my goodness. I won't even count you because you didn't put in Sir Ian. Technically, it's Sir Ian. Sir Ian Livingston. Wow. Carrie Hester, put down a point for Carrie.
Carrie's on the board.
Carrie is on the board. So I want my $2.
Yeah. That's all it's about.
Earlier, Carrie said, if you let me win, I'll give you all inspiration. Well, there may not be any letting to it. She
I
just
know.
may come in and
I know.
We're letting her. I want the inspiration.
That's right.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, so adventures. Here we go. With adventures. If you find your soul ripped from your body by the rotating soul gem in a blast of white light, what 1980 module by Alan Hammock are you playing? If you find your soul ripped from your body by the rotating soul gem in a blast of white light. Actually, I know this one now. What 1980 module by Alan Hammock are you playing?
Woo!
Oh, no, I was wrong. I was wrong. It was not the one I thought it was. See,
I'm quiet because we're just...
Yeah, Curtis, I Tomb of Horrors is good. It's not, and I thought it was the Temple of Sojkanth or
Lost Temple of Steve's SJ.
Sojkanth, yeah.
It's Lost Temple
but it's not.
of Steve.
So it's not the Kevin, the Lost Temple of Kevin, spelled with a TS. That
name and the vampiric ray-like monsters that start with an X, Exthelios.
Exthelios. Yeah, because on the Isle of Dread.
Yes.
Because I ran my Saturday night group through the Isle of Dread, and that's why I thought Sojkanth was correct, because I ran my party through. On the way to the Isle of Dread, they went to the Lost Temple of Steve. Not Temple of Elemental Evil. That's a good one, Curtis. No, good guess.
Good one.
The Infinity Gauntlet.
Mm-hmm. Thanos was right.
Zwerf Neblin. Very good. Oh my gosh. Nuh-uh.
No, you give her too much time. You give her too much time to Google.
She's Googling it. But that's fine. Hey, there are no rules here.
This is a hard round.
These are no rules. Carrie Hester.
The more she wins, the more inspiration we get.
Carrie Hester, C2, the Ghost Tower of Inverness. She even put it in the form of a question. So you even won on Jeopardy there. All right. Blue, which is characters, I believe. Yes, characters. Siloon Silverhand, who lingers in Shadowdale as a spectral harpist, died breaking what type of magic staff in her battle with a red dragon?
Yes.
And it's probably Silune. I would say. Silune Silverhand, who lingers in Shadowdale as a spectral harpist, died breaking what type of magic staff in her battle with a red dragon? How dare you call my honor into question, Gary? We would never. That was Brooke. That was I'm blaming Brooke for that because he's here and he's easy prey.
And it kind of tracks.
Okay, should I ask the question again? There we go. Silune Silverhand, who lingers in shadow. I mean, you guys could really take a guess. Look, Carrie Hester.
Exactly. Just break that thing across your thigh and boom.
I mean, you could take an easy guess. I mean, what magic staff would do that kind of damage? Carrie Hester for the points there. The Staff of the Magi is the correct answer.
And that question is very close to being a tongue twister. You got Salune Silverhand's
Staff of the Magi, yeah.
One,
in
blah,
Shadowdale.
Blah, blah.
A lot of alliteration.
It does.
But yes, the Staff of the Magi. So Kiri is now with 3 points on the board tonight.
3 points on the board.
All right, final one. Cosmology. What city of Faerun, one of its busiest trade ports, serves as the political capital of What city of Faerun, one of its busiest trade ports, serves as the political capital of
Shebop?
It's the dread castle of Arg. He wouldn't bother to carve Arg. He'd just say it. Oh, goodness gracious me.
There's a DC.
What?
Is it DC?
DC?
Like Washington, D.C.?
Oh, no. Oh, that's true. I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
The District of Columbia. So by the way, speaking of Holy Grail, there's a board game I saw on Backer Kit for the Holy Grail, and it looks awesome. I'm like,
Python Holy Grail?
Yes. Based off the movie.
Gather pieces of the Black Knight and put him back together. Is that like?
Well, you play the knights, and then every now and then the Black Knight shows up and duels you, and so it looks like a lot of fun. So, all right, guys, come on, someone's got to know this one. What city of Faerun, one of its busiest trade ports, serves as the political capital of AMN? You could really go political capital of and it'd probably come right up. So, we're going to go 5.
Moon-Ra.
Moon-Ra. Akhenaten. Dude,
Are you telling me there's more than 2 cities in Faerun? Because, there's the one and there's the other.
It is so I think that's south of Baldur's Gate and Waterdeep. All right, here we go. Final answer is
Afklata.
What?
Afklata.
Afkatka. Very good.
Kaka.
Excuse you.
Gesundheit. All right. So there we go. Hey, we're going to be doing that trivia stuff. That trivia stuff is going to be going on at TokenCon.
Yeah.
In March. That's next month. That's only a month and a half away. What is going on with your...
I have no idea. I'm a magician.
Okay,
I don't know what's going on.
That's actually going on, right? I'm not having flashbacks from the 80s, am I? I'm not. That was actually a thing, right? Everyone else saw that, right?
It's happened 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I know.
You're doing it.
No, not on purpose. I have a new laptop.
TokenCon's coming at the end of March, everyone.
TokenCon.
It
is. It is. There's something going on with your...
My computer is smarter than I am, which is not a surprise, probably. So,
Brooks' head exploded. That's right. All of a sudden, you just your computer just went all Bollywood. I don't know what it was. Do that again. Just go like that again.
So I'll just stop right here.
Do it. Go like that.
Like this.
That's it.
Wow, I'm jealous.
No doubt.
Now do something else, like let's see if question marks pop up.
No. Now,
I don't know. Anyway,
later people are gonna go to my house. I'm gonna be making motions and stuff. And they're gonna be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "My computer does stuff."
Try to make my computer do things. All right. So TokenCon, March 15th, 16th, 17th. That's coming up. SoonerCon. By the way, did you see who they announced for their new guest?
Johnny Payne.
Well, much as Johnny Payne is awesome, did you see who it's going to be?
I did.
Atreyu.
Yes,
Atreyu. Yes.
Not the band Atreyu.
No.
But the sad horse.
Noah Hathaway, Atreyu.
Noah Hathaway.
We're all still scarred for life because of that scene.
Yeah.
But yes,
Man.
Atreyu is coming to SoonerCon, which I'm like,
Yep.
so excited,
Yep.
so excited, so excited.
I tapped down just a little bit of jealousy because I showed that news to my wife, and she said, "Oh, young me wants to meet young him," and I was like, "Excuse me, I'm standing right here," you know.
Spray bottle. No.
So, very quickly, there's other news going on. So, Section 31, Star Trek, Section 31 has begun filming.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Section 31 is going to be an off. It's basically a spin-off of Discovery because it stars.
The show. No. Yeah. Her.
Yes. Anyway, so in honor of that, I've been watching Section 31 shows.
Awesome.
So I watched the first three, which are in Deep Space Nine, which I loved watching those because there is an actual arc of those three shows. But the problem with the arc of those three shows is they span 2 separate seasons.
Yeah. And one of them, it's like the first one is sort of. I'm sorry, Michael. Go ahead.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
I just talk at length about that.
But
so just going off of what you said with the spanning and the arcs and everything.
Yeah.
The first Section 31 episode is just sort of a. It's like it's an introduction to Section 31, but it also touches a little bit on the overarching story of DS9.
Yeah.
And then the second one, a little bit less, I believe. But then the third one, it's all about the Dominion War and the founders.
Yeah.
And it's great job.
And in the second one, actually, Adrian Barbeau plays a Romulan, and I'm like, Adrian Barbeau. You take Escape from New York, Swamp Thing. I had the biggest crush on Adrian Barbeau.
She played Senator Kretak. Well,
and so it was fantastic. So, but we have great episodes. So then I did actually watch Enterprise. I've watched 1.5 of those episodes.
Yeah.
Where I don't remember any of them because I do know I have watched every Star Trek episode, but by the time it was getting to the 3rd, 4th season of Enterprise, I was like most people. I was like, I'm kind of done.
Yeah. The song. Yeah.
It was. I know. And
I did a rewatch recently of Enterprise. I'm serious, like a few months ago recently.
Yeah.
And do a rewatch.
I have, and I did try to rewatch it. I think we got distracted by watching something else, but we did try to watch. Yeah. We watched the first season, and it's good. It's just the problem was it really started to hit its stride in the 4th season, and that's when they canceled it. And
so it's so sectioned off where like the whole Delphic Expanse thing, but then also the temporal Cold War thing that kind of fizzled.
Yeah,
and then this
the Xindi War.
That it's Archer, the temporal Cold War projection shadowy guy is Archer from the future. Anyway, it kept finding its arc and missing it, and kind of reinventing itself, and it just needed to find something and stick with it. Yeah. It's good though.
I think no matter what I love about the Enterprise is that Archer will always be amongst the Kirk, Picard. I mean, and
his name is mentioned a lot in the new. Trek.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. He's a founding father, even more so than Kirk. So the fact that that we know we've got a picture of who Archer is and why he's such a great captain, and I mean that the legend will always be. So that's kind of neat. Anyway, Section 31, very excited about that. So I am going to watch all of Discovery soon. I'm going to rewatch Discovery because the 5th season is coming out in April, I believe. The 5th and final season is coming out in April. So very, very excited about that.
I hope we get. I hope with the Section 31 movie we get William Sadler, the guy that played Sloane. Sloane, it was a great character, a great introduction, because there were times where I feel like that character is what made you say, do I or do I not like Section 31?
Uh-huh.
You know, yeah.
I like Section 31 because they were all black, and that's very slimming.
Yeah, I like that the communicator, their badge is.
Yeah, I don't think they could have Sloane in it though, because for one thing, the actor is much older, and this. Aren't we still back in the past?
Where did Giorgio go?
I thought Giorgio went back to the original
Stargate?
time, the original Discovery time.
So a couple things about that. One, she when she went through the Guardian of Forever's.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you trust Giorgio to do anything she says she's going to do?
Oh no,
because it's Mirror Universe Giorgio.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and also being Section 31, for all we know, I mean, she already was Section 31. For all we know, she could have been told, if you find a way to travel through time again, you need to use it to go here instead. And so she's like, yeah, sure thing. I'm heading back, and went where she wanted to.
Right.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, we know. We've seen the cast. We know who it is. I did see the disappointing thing is the guy from Season 1 Discovery that was the Klingon, but spoilers.
Yeah.
Not the Klingon.
Not the
He's not cast yet. He's not in it.
Oh.
Huh.
Or hasn't been announced to be.
Well, it's going to be interesting. So it's going to be a movie, not a series.
It's going to be a movie, yeah.
Okay. Is it going to be on like Paramount Plus, or is it going to come out in theaters?
That I don't know.
Be interesting to find out.
I'm sure Paramount Plus to try and boost subscriptions.
Yeah.
I mean, that eventually got me into getting the Paramount Plus. They got me kicking and screaming. I was not going to do it until like the second season of Discovery. I'm like, okay, this is getting good. I've got it. Yeah. Anyway, so Hasbro. Anybody looking to buy Dungeons and Dragons? Because apparently there was a website that thought Hasbro was trying to sell it.
Yeah, I love the fact that there was a couple of folks that did some diving and research, and I love the fact that it very much was the tail wagging the dog. This story got traction, if I understand correctly, off of a YouTuber that said, "Hey, what if?"
Yeah.
What if the Baldur's Gate people were interested in Hasbro, and then somehow that got picked up, and then all of a sudden,
yeah. Now I do remember. I think the last time I said that it would be. I think it would be wonderful if Hasbro would either sell Wizards of the Coast to someone who could treat it better, or allow Wizards of the Coast to buy itself out and become its own separate company.
That's what needs to happen. Is Wizards of the Coast needs to be like. I mean, imagine if Paizo was controlled by Ford,
Disney, right,
or something.
Yeah,
it needs to be its own thing.
Yeah. It would be neat. But of course, then the whole story from the very beginning. We said that we talked about this on Discord. It was already questionable.
Oh yeah,
and
from the beginning.
That it just didn't seem. First off, it was a Chinese company, and it looked like it was mostly their video, not their. I'm like, but.
Well, the thing is, I saw a really interesting fight happen on Twitter about it, where someone was like, the people on this platform need to learn how to read. It clearly states they're licensing the rights to the games, to the digital stuff. And then people were like, yeah, I just did Control F and typed in the word license and didn't find anything about it. But I found the word buy 27 times.
Yeah.
And it was really up in the air thing because it wasn't, I mean, people were saying it wasn't clear. And I was like, no, it's very clear. This article says they are selling D&D.
Yeah. They were trying to sell it. And it
turned out they weren't. And that was the thing was that I saw that article that morning and I dropped it in the Discord and I was like, if I see bloggers talking about it, that doesn't count. If I see other news sources and a name, and I never recognized that website that put it out. But if Bounding into Comics or Bleeding Cool or Bell of Lost Souls or some of the game thing, or even Forbes pick it up or something.
Right, reputable news organizations. Yeah, which they would. But that's the thing is Forbes would start picking that up because if Hasbro is selling a major IP like Dungeons and Dragons. The Wall Street Journal is going to pick that up. Forbes is going to pick that up. Other organizations are going to start picking that up. And once you did have the people like Bleeding Cool and all those actually looking at their resources and talking to their people, they were like, nah, It died a really, really quick death, which is what how fake news should die.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
because you have people who look up their resources and they go, "Oh no, that's not actually true at all." So, other D&D news. This one is actually true, unfortunately. Dragonlance looks like it's finally gone. Joe Magnolis did a. I think we had talked. You'd mentioned this, Johnny, that we talked about this, but I think
he
was
did a convention in some like South American country or something, some non-English speaking country at a convention, and he was on a panel, and on the panel someone asked them, and the translator translated, and they had a conversation, and it was recorded like off of phone quality, and you couldn't hear everything that was said. And it was like people were trying to transcript it, and it basically said the same thing that he said recently, Michael.
Yeah, and it's sad. Well, apparently,
everyone at Wizards of the Coast loved it.
Yeah,
he said even if you watch the video, he even says this morning I even got an email from so and so, the guy in charge of this thing at Wizards, that said this is the best not only piece of D&D but piece of fantasy that he's read in a long time. And they just don't want it.
Yeah.
So maybe he'll take the Zack Snyder route.
It's possible. Now I don't necessarily, because Wizards, they sold, well, Wizards didn't, Hasbro sold their video unit, and so I mean, Hasbro, I'm blaming Hasbro, and it's probably Hasbro, because I'm pretty sure Wizard would probably love to do it, but they don't have the resources, especially since Hasbro sold their video organization. Mm-hmm. So maybe he can simply just get the IP to do it and go through another organization like Paramount. Paramount did Dungeons and Dragons. Why can Paramount not do? So it might just be delayed. If it's really that good, it will find a way.
But it may not come out as Dungeons and Dragons. It may come out as a fantasy movie set in a fictional world where there are dragons and dragon riders, and there are powerful weapons known as lances that are forged by
and it might and also there might be some issues still with Weiss and Hickman. I don't know. There's so many things that are going on here that we don't know all the details, and so although I think Hasbro is shooting itself in the foot. Not putting out this kind of entertainment that people would buy up, and you sell stuff. So maybe Paramount will pick it up. If the script's that good, somebody's going to pick it up. And you're right, Johnny. Either make it a Dungeons and Dragons movie, or make it like what what's his name did for Star Wars.
Snyder.
Yeah, Zack Snyder.
But good.
Or even take a step back and make it a Netflix series, or make it
right. Well, it should be a series. It needs to be a series.
100%.
You could. There are so many books. This could be you could, for 100 years, you could make Dragonlance an ongoing. Game of Thrones, nothing. You could go on for billions of seasons with the books that are available for Dragonlance.
Yep.
This is going to be a hot take. So, chat, get ready to yell at me, but I almost wonder if that's why they were no, because apparently in the video that was translated, he said that he was one of the people that told him no, said because we don't want Dungeons, or we don't want Dragonlance, or we don't want this Dragonlance. I wonder if it's because like anything they go back and redo, they completely change. And nothing is the same. Like there's a new series of Dragonlance books, and they're not anything like the old Dragonlance world. There's a new Dragonlance game, and it's nothing like the old one. Like Spelljammer was. Everything is different than it was before, and I feel like Joe made it like it was before. And it was like, oh no one's gonna like. Well, there's two parts of the audience. There's the audience who was there and will go, wow, I love this. And then there's the audience who has no idea what any of it is, and they're going to like whatever you give them, whether it's the old or the new.
Yeah.
So I think it's a risk worth taking, and I hope that's not. But yeah, in that original video from months ago, he did say, and I've watched some of the new one. I haven't watched the way through, but he did say that he was told by somebody at Wizards, "This is amazing. but we don't want to do Dragonlance, and we don't want to do this Dragonlance.
Yeah, and here's the problem. You're absolutely right, Johnny, and that's one of the reasons why I have a problem with like it goes to the DC EU and the MCU. Marvel tries to stay fairly close to the comic books. I mean, you could tell that they want to, because these stories have lasted for nearly 100 years. Okay, and they're good stories. That's why they've lasted for 100 years. And DC comes in and goes, we want to rewrite the whole thing. Why? For a modern audience, but it doesn't. Then you're rewriting these classic stories. So yeah, you're right, Johnny. I think D&D is trying to go, let's make it new, let's make it modern. But you're forgetting what makes it last forever is what made it last forever. And so it should be. And it's one of the reasons why I love the D&D movie. I base it in the Forgotten Realms. It was fun.
It was amazing. Like old and new loved that freaking movie. Loved the new D&D movie.
Yeah, my dad hated it though, actually. But
it was like this is this was the fun, whimsical what it was, And then the new was like we don't know what's good, and we liked what we saw, so it's good.
Yeah,
And I don't mean that disparagingly. We don't know what's good. It's that they don't have that reference of 20, 30 years ago. They're just like, here's my empty plate, fill it up, please, and then they make a decision.
Yes,
and it worked. It's so great
because it's great storytelling. Because great storytelling does not matter whether it's modern, whether it's 40 years ago, whether it's 400 years ago, whether it's 2,000 years ago. Great storytelling is great storytelling. And unfortunately, that's the problem I have with the DCEU is they're like, but we're going to make our own story. We don't care about what makes great storytelling. We're going to do our own thing. We're going to make everybody moody, everything dark, and it'll work. And it'll work because it's gritty and it's modern. It's like, well...
So Mark is mentioning he watches that movie 3 times a month. I mean, Amanda and I will just get bored and be like, Dungeons & Dragons, and put the D&D movie on. Or put it on for background. Watched it many times, Michael, going into what you're saying also... There's some comic book YouTube channels I watch and stuff that talk about, the Wednesday pulls and what's coming out and stuff. And they review movies and series when they come out. And they were super excited for Echo. And then when the movie came out, their next episode afterward was like, we don't know who that was in the show. Because here's Echo's powers. Mm-hmm. Here's Echo's abilities. Here's what she can and can't. And here's all this stuff. And here's her backstory. And it was like it's like they made a whole new character and called her Echo.
Yeah.
And so that because they wanted to
something new.
So the new people who had no idea were like, it was good, it was bad, I'm take it or leave it. And then the old people who would have came in droves were like, no, I don't want any of it. Yeah. And it hurt. It hurts their bottom line. And I mean, I think they're starting to realize that.
It's disappointing.
They can't alienate half the audience to appease an audience that may or may not be there.
And you don't have to be. I mean, Mandalorian is a great example of you don't have to be what is it called? Fans. You don't have to be fan service like the Force Awakens or all those movies. You don't have to be fan service, but you do have to understand what the fans are looking for. Yeah. And I thought that's what the Mandalorian was what made Mandalorian so great was it was great storytelling in a universe we knew.
Yep.
Let me ask you this, Michael. Mandalorian, yes. Universe we know. Character that we kind of have a familiarity with just because of lore and history. Great story. Mm-hmm. Now, tell me how you feel about the Disney Plus series known as The Book of Boba Fett. That wasn't Boba Fett to people of a certain generation.
But it was mostly fan service.
It was, so there was some fan service, but I feel like it was mostly modern audience, like the Pastel Vespa street bike gang.
Yeah.
And everybody,
yes. And basically it was Mandalorian season 2.5.
Yeah. I just found myself going, where is badass Boba Fett? Where is this guy that, and maybe, like some of the Tusken Raider scenes when he is, kind of when he's recovering with the Tusken Raiders and then, what happens to them and then his revenge on that, like that part, I'm like, okay, here we go. And then he becomes like I don't know, Magistrate Boba Fett, which is just like, what is going on?
I know, and it had such a wonderful. There were so many. The very first episode had so much promise. It had so much promise.
Oh, yes.
And the fact that they were taking from the books that had come out after 2015 when so I was like, this, it was really, I mean, it had so much promise, and then it just fell apart halfway through, and I don't, and it was disappointing. And on the other hand, look how great Obi-Wan Kenobi was.
Let's putting some stuff under a microscope too. I don't think it is. I think I'm just a big fan.
You're gonna do that.
Let's
no
go
matter
back
what.
to Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got Lando Calrissian following Darth Vader through a corridor, bitching and moaning, and he stops, turns on his heels, and says, "It's been altered. Pray we do not alter it further." Talking about leaving a garrison, all this stuff, and Lando's like, "Okay," and goes away and sneakily does stuff, but he goes away and sneaks.
Yeah.
Mando says, "He's no good to me dead," and Vader doesn't spit on his heel and bite him like he did to Lando. He goes, "Oh, it's cool, man. We'll pay you the bounty if this goes bad."
Exactly.
And he's like, "Okay," and they walk off together.
Yeah.
That's not who was in the Book of Boba Fett.
I know. Well, you spend a few years in the Sarlacc stomach, and you know that.
That should be motivation.
I know, but and again, that is why, and it was. I mean, even him crawling out of the Sarlacc, that was straight from the comics, from the original Legends comics. So
there were so many comics of him getting out of the Sarlacc. There's one where he got out. There was a book series where he got out and chased Han across the galaxy, and they went back to Tatooine and fought. And oh god, he fell back in because George Lucas used to approve everything.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, you could pull him out and have him go chase."
But he's got to get back in there.
But you got to put him back in at the end. The story has to end with him in the Sarlacc pit. Yeah.
It was disappointing, and I think that because the worst thing about it is it's like, again, started out so great. It had an incredible cast. It had there was so much promise to Boba Fett. I think that might also be another thing. Was we just come off of like an incredible second season of Mandalorian, and you've got this incredible cast in Boba Fett. It's like, this thing's going to be awesome. And here's where I think I have since Star Wars has come out, I've really lowered my expectations, because when I do that, I find things are enjoyable. If I've got my expectations way too high, I'm probably going to be disappointed. I don't know. But
Yep.
So,
the chat is talking villains. They're talking about Cad versus Thrawn, and I think there's a difference between books and movie that they're finding a nuance on. They're having a good time in the chat.
Book of Boba Fett, when Cad Bane showed up, that was
me too. I'm like, how are they going to pull this off? And they did a great job.
It was really good. I was like, oh my gosh, that is truly 3-dimensional Cad Bane.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to mention this before we were done, kind of along the same lines, Michael, about what audience do you cater to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if the audience has a fandom already, you cater to that fandom, and the new audience, like I said, they don't know what to expect because they didn't watch the old. And some who did watch the old will go, "Oh, this is cool. It's still going." I don't know. But He-Man, Masters of the Universe.
Oh, yeah. I was going to watch that because you mentioned that. Go ahead. Go for it.
So a couple of years ago, Kevin Smith actually, let me back up. When someone says Masters of the Universe, do you think of a bunch of people on a planet called Eternia doing things? Or do you think He-Man?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, hear.
I think Dolph Lundgren. Yeah, I think Dolph Lundgren.
Get that out there real fast.
Courtney Cox.
Okay. So he made an animated series, Masters of the Universe, Revolution or Revelation, one or the other, because the new one is the other. And it was terrible, and it got like bashed hard by. I mean, critics were fine, but like viewers and the fans. So much so that if you've ever seen the Kevin Smith crying meme, it's from that.
Oh,
it's
really?
from him just getting online on his phone and ugly crying because Masters Universe upset so many people. Because what he did was he killed. Spoiler alert! If you didn't watch the first one a few years ago, in the first or maybe second episode, he kills He-Man, and He-Man goes to Subternia, which is hell. And you're like, oh, maybe he'll come back. No, because while he's in hell, someone basically taps him on the shoulder and says, "What's that over there?" And when he turns around and looks, they stab him and do a permadeath kill thing.
Oh my god!
So He-Man is just a schmuck dope who doesn't. Yeah, and then, and this is not anything derogatory. I love women. Eternia is run and ruled by women and power and women and women and women. And that was him going, new audience, yeah, modern audience. And like Man at Arms stopped being a person and became a title and a station. And so he retired, and then a woman come up and took and he did this whole, and it wasn't, I watched it. It wasn't a good story. It was disappointing that He-Man never came back. It was bad.
Yeah.
He makes this new one, and the female characters are still just as strong and just as powerful as they were in the first one he made, but He-Man's there. And He-Man is also just as strong and just as powerful as we know He-Man to be. And I highly recommend it. It is amazing. It is great. So much so that Tila goes off and saves, from a certain point of view, the universe.
Wow.
And He-Man stays behind and just fights Skeletor and beats him. Spoiler, good guys win. So yeah, she does the grand thing, but he doesn't like go sit down and start knitting.
Yeah,
he does a good thing. You know what I mean? And that's where it was like everyone's happy. This side is happy, that side is happy. This generation's happy, that generation's happy.
Is this also Kevin Smith as well?
And he got 100% from critics on Rotten Tomato for it. And he again started crying and said, "Of all the things I've done and all the sacrifices I've made to do them, I have never gotten this is like great praise for me. Yeah. I've never gotten 100% reviews, you know, and it may have changed now. But that was like the first weekend it came out. He was at 100% with, you know, a couple dozen reviews from legit reviewers. Yeah. And yeah, it's just amazing. And that kind of goes along with what you were saying. You know, it's
good storyline.
Established fandom, keep it going.
Yeah. You don't have to have fan service, but keep it in the universe that we know. Because that we're going to keep coming back to that, you know. Don't
100%.
You don't have to make up something. You don't have to do something new. You can tell a new story without, you know, making Superman all moody and Batman and, you know, it's just and everything all dark. You don't have to do that. You could tell the story that we love with characters we love, and we'll come back every time. I mean, that's how I feel about the Marvel and the MCU. You know, and granted, there's some of them that they're not all perfect. I'm not saying MCU is flawless, but I am saying for the most part, MCU has proven that if they just take these characters that we've loved for nearly 100 years and telling their stories.
Yeah,
you bet.
And it's one of the reasons why the more modern Spider-Mans have worked so well. We finally got to watch Spider-Man. We have the commercial version of Netflix, and so we couldn't watch Across the Spider-Verse because apparently you can't watch that with the commercial version of Netflix. I don't know. So we got it from the library, and oh my gosh, it's so good.
It's awesome.
It is so good. Just amazing. And so, yeah, and it's because it's the story straight from the comic books, and it's not necessarily the story itself. It's these characters. There's no reason to change the characters. Tell their story to a modern audience, and people will love it. So,
100%. Do you know what else is bringing favorite characters back to the audience again?
What's that?
Bruncheons and Dragons 3.
Bruncheons and Dragons 3. Bruncheons and Dragons 3. Brooke? What's Bruncheons and Dragons 3?
Oh, it is a time for you to come together, and if you're of a certain age, have a little mimosa, roll some dice, have a fantastic time with incredible people like Carrie Hester and Michael Cross and Johnny Payne and Ruffles and Falcor. Folks that are in the chat, you get to meet them live, all at the Blue Note, February 25th. It's a Sunday.
Yes.
And Brooke, you know what goes great with mimosas?
What?
Cocoa Puffs. That's all I'm saying.
You're not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, are you?
I'm cuckoo in general, but I do like some
Cocoa Puffs are good. That's true.
No, Michael. They're what?
Great.
Sound good.
I'll just say I can dig them.
Even Curtis approves.
We are gonna have a fantastic time.
Oh my gosh!
I can't tell you the shenanigans that Ruffles and Falcor has set up for you guys if you come out to Bruncheons and Dragons.
It is gonna be amazing. Down at the Blue Note on Robinson and 23rd. And if you go to okcbluenote.com or you go to kosu.org and get some more information. Thank you so much to OKC Toast and Coffee are going to be catering again. We're very excited about that. And KOSU is going to be there. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun. And in just 2 weeks, I'm still trying to figure out what kind of costume I want to get and what I want to bring.
You know, I do have a muscle suit you could borrow if you want to throw some stripes on that.
That's true. That's true. I've got some ideas. It's like, how much do I want to spend? I think was the question.
You bet. If you haven't seen the poster yet, check out the Discord. Check out all the social medias. Johnny Payne now has the haircut he needs. He's just lacking that Game of Thrones cloak, and I'm so excited. I'm so hopeful.
I'm eyeballing one on the internet. Ren Fair season's coming up. I'm going to need some new garb.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Expense that dude. Put it on the taxes, as business expense. It'll be great.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later. We'll have Red Dirt expense that. Cool. Anyway, what?
There you go. Okay. We're running low. Well, I guess we still got a few more minutes. Anything else going on?
Oh. Chad, what do you think?
I don't know. What do we got? What else has been going on? I wanted to be Skeletor, Curtis. Of course you did.
In the new series, he's Skeletech.
Like he's got technology on him.
It's such a good, especially he did the whole thing where the villain always has the better backstory,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You get Skeletor backstory.
Oh,
really? Wow. And there's a certain He-Man thing that is now canon that they bring into play. It's a great.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. So one's called Revelation and one's called Revolution. The newer one does have that technology. There's always been technology in He-Man. There's laser guns and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really brings it into play. The voice actors. Oh my God, it's Mark Hamill and William Shatner.
No way.
Not as He-Man, but as Skeletor as Mark Hamill. So it sounds like the Joker.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Oh, yeah.
And Shatner plays a guy who is like Adam's dad's long lost bestie from childhood. Turns out to be a main character guy. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Check that out on Netflix. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and then a bunch of Kevin Smith friends. He directed a bunch of stuff for the CW for the Arrowverse.
Mm-hmm.
So like Melissa Benoit, Supergirl is Tila, and
I love her.
And then the guy that played her love interest from the neighboring planet of Krypton, he's Adam, He-Man.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
that's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, the guy playing. Anyway, yes, the guy playing Cal something or other, or Raw something or other. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
he'd be a great He-Man.
Yeah, he played the voice of. It's good.
Yeah. Okay, so we're coming to the end here. By the way, make sure you check out Red Dirt D&D. We just put up a new episode yesterday, and then tomorrow we have a new roundtable. And if you want the full version of that roundtable, you can become a Patreon member at patreon.com/reddirtdnd. Mysteries of Beatrix launched a new episode last night. You can check that out right now on the Red Dirt RPG YouTube page. And Golden Keys from the Golden Vault, the Red Dirt Outlaws, launched their latest episode on Tuesday, where we go through a bunch of shenanigans. And I'm sure that we burned something down. Because we do. That's just what we do. Sorry. Oops. Anyway, so that's going to do it. Make sure you come out and see us at Bruncheons and Dragons on February 25th. It's going to be a blast. We're really excited about it. Come see us at Token Con coming up in the middle of March. SoonerCon coming up. We're looking at other conventions going on as well. If you know of a convention, let us know. We'd love to be a part of it because it's going to be a lot of fun. We're now bringing our trivia out there. We're going to think about bringing the Red Dirt Live out, doing some a little bit more. So, it's going to be awesome. We are so excited to be part of your lives here at Red Dirt D&D. So, in the meantime, I'm Michael